How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one that stood alone against the storm. For the one they called.
Alright. Fucking love it. It's cold, by the way. So if you see me rant, make sure. Let's do this. Let's do this like Buddhists. So, I think we last left off, we just attuned to the Aetherite at the Crystarium. So, if you are interested in how the story began, check out my previous video, which will be up on YouTube sometime during the week. It doesn't save the New Game Plus state. Oh, that sucks. Damn. Okay, well, let's get an expert roulette out the way then. Man, that sucks. Oh, resume. There we go. Alright, so when we last left off, we just attuned to the Aetherite. Let's go explore the Crystarium. I'll stay in queue for my expert still, because currency. Look at this place. Alright, how did I not get that? Ooh man, okay. I got to adjust one thing. Boop. 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 Much smoother. Bargi. New to the city, friend. The spinning head and wide-eyed gives it away. Welcome, my name is Barry, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave me the district another official title, but I'm in the habit of using it. Too floored by half. In any case, our merchants stock in range and equipment for minstrels such as yourself, so finding something to your size shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, did you say minstrel? Hi, something wrong? Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a human, the taller one is an elf. The sturdy individual over there is a Cardant. The one with the horns is the Dran. Then you have the large scaly chaps with the long tails and the knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zune. Which is apparently not the name you know by. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from. I come from the same place as the XIV, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious landings, they've floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry, should you find yourself confused with the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions. Your exchange with Briar has taught you about the peoples of the First. Go back up this way. Take the stairs next one. I'll come back up and I'll take the stairs. Welcome to the Trivium. Then go up. Top floor. Right, this was a male or female. Alright, female. Excuse me, sir. You recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with our civic rules, and you see, and well, well, to ask you, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll even, a scrap of scribbled on parchment. My apologies. Literature is something of an exception of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Moran at your service, and his humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all matter of tomes, documents, and other vehicles of the written word. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought with the flood jumps originally was, the damage was recorded. Knowledge was less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve that wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the Covenant today? Looking for any type in particular? May have a spot of academic research? Oh, so you're interested in modern history. Splendid! A thorough review of recent events can often yield perspectives. I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual and accomplished with the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book of the children somewhere. Just a moment here, I'll fetch it for you. Brr. Got a lot of books here. And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable. On the lessons then. I'm so squishy. There we go, let's get a history lesson of the first. 100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadow Keeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of the tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It poured and swelled without cease, till the day an enormous, blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called the calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous vessel. Turn the page. Yet, just when it seemed all would be lost, a savior appeared before us. The Oracle of Light, she stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Navrant, and Navrant alone spared the fate of Eraser. Love the music. Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspects to bedeviled and the few folk who survived. These sin-eaters were light incarnate, and their fugitive presence stole the night from the sky. And now, they circle the remaining passions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for us. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you. Or would you rather I speak on other matters? That too would be my pleasure. I shall be glad of the company.
Your exchange with Moran has taught you about the Flood of Light.
I learned about the Flood of Light, yeah. Yeah, Flood of Light. Light floods. Jump. Which way's the exit? I don't know how to get out of here. There it is. Get the fuck out of here. I got a message on my cell phone. I just got a message. Alright, anyway. Now we gotta head upstairs. I'm busy.
Got crusties in my eye.
Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city? Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The XIV can throw up a barrier if destiny just come knocking, so it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized too. Thanks to us in the main, we work together to procure materials and resources and craft the goods which make city life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it's all handed down on a plate like those Yomnorian layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor, you don't have a whiff of insolence about you in some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from?
I'm from the Exarch's location.
One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel welcome. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him, and the friend of his is a friend of ours. Look at that tower. It's so shiny. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the crystal tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of thin air. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings started going up, and with the help of some crucial relics brought from the tower, the place gradually expanded into a thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but it is for secrecy he will never yet let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish. I mean, however, they're a little more curious to see the crafting talent you might be hiding. If you want to contribute to that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Kellis, and I'll find a niche right here in the crystal mine. You can help us clean the cogs of the city, greased and turning.
Your exchange with Callis has taught you about the life in the Crystarium.
We go and visit the exile.
Crystal Exile.
Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you in a clever picture of the world of its people?
Here we are learning about the life, the blood, and the people.
Yes, it seems you were treated to the most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but it was necessary for you to grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the self-same one you know from the source, transported to the first in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing. And although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion.
Now complete. The Crystal Exile is finally ready to discuss the matter of your comrade's whereabouts.
You've done as I requested, and learned something of this world in which you find yourself. Now, it's time I fulfilled my half of the bargain, and explained what has befallen your comrades. This is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see the God knows who admits you.
The tower gates lies open then.
Well, yes, of course. It will be open and closed, yet just like any other. Does that seem strange to you? I don't know how the tower functions in your time, but I assure you there is no danger of us being locked inside.
Where's my message?
I've got messages! Messages! The Crystarium Gatekeeper.
Greetings, sir. The exile awaits you within. Need to make sure something's working still. Is it on still? Give me a second. Based in the grain turkey.
Oh look, it was Yastula.
But she's gone now.
Enter the Crystal Tower.
I will enter the Crystal Tower.
I don't want to use Discord overlay in game. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't know if there's voices or not, so I'm just ready.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind.
Pray return to the Walking Sands. No!
Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions.
No.
To put it simply, they are here in the first. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the first, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Yustola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphinaud and Alisaie, have lived in the first for almost a year. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch.
He's naked.
Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
Then find a way to send them back. What have they been doing all this time?
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the first was rejoined with the source. This, amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the first, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
Aye, but I'll see you keep that promise.
Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I have been informed that a room has just become available at the Pendants, which, as it turns out, is perfect. A path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along! So squishy.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. Aught you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough. Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice. From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter. Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Tombstone iPhones.
But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your home world. A Van Kerm Sin?
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
Yay! Best fairy ever.
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm. And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift. How wonderfully exciting. What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do. After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails? Just as I thought. Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass. From this moment forth I will be your Isnefis, and you my Snayak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other. Raise your hand.
I'm not even hesitating.
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then, make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Tazaro, of course.
Consider it done.
As you heard, That was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by Pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium.
Oh, really?
Right, we were going to organise a room for you, weren't we?
Come on. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Let's go find a room, eh? As a result of your pact with Veo, you now access the delivery moles, market balls, and summoning bells from the past. Ciao. Ah, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here in the Penance for the duration of your stay. Make use to it as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray rest and recuperate, and we shall reconvene with the Arc of the Arrow. I believe that covers all the practical concerns. Thank you for answering my call, Rothwood. We are denied the comforting blanket of night, but may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. A pleasure to meet you, sir, and welcome to your new home at the Pendants. Your room is ready if you'd care to retire.
Retire to your quarters?
Yes.
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the source. What? Did you just... You can hear me? Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness. My real name is Ardbet. I used an alias in the source. A daft one, looking back. If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their God's damned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas, and returned our souls to the first. The flood was poised to swallow Northrend. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back, just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
It's been like 100 years, brah.
100 years. 100 long years. My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
Well, you see, it's a long story, and I'm not actually going to explain anything, but just stand here and make hand gestures.
You were summoned to save the first. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Planking. So almost in the train. God, my footsteps are so squishy. Hocus pocus beep. Master Rosebud, the exile awaits you within.
find your new quarters. I trust you were able to rest.
Well enough, thank you.
That is good to hear. Should you want for anything, pray let me know. Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts.
It's a map.
This map shows the lands of Norvrand, the only area to be spared the flood of light.
Eorzea.
The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. To the north is the very kingdom of Ilme.
I'm all out of
That's where you'll
beverage.
find Urianger.
Oh well.
To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your stoner is stationed there, in the heart of the forest. Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphinaud is on Kholusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulm, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphinaud journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alisaie, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Amh Araeng. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin-Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alisaie felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe. So, will it be Kholusia or Amh Araeng? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you have made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin-Eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
You're more Amh Araeng. You're more Amh Araeng. Alphinaud or Alisaie. Alphinaud or Alisaie. Let's go for Alphinaud. We're gonna go Alisaie first. Were you to puff Amh Araeng, Alisaie would be overjoyed to see you safe. I know she's particularly concerned for your well-being. She, impressed upon me how regrettable the timing of the summoning was, repeatedly. I only hope my part in sending you to her will gain us some measure of forgiveness. Here, this is a letter of introduction addressed to the man named Kassar, the master of the merchant cavern. There will be few who know the ways of the desert as well as he does. Find him in the Alphinaud Lounge, and he will see that you reach your destination. Exit the Crystarium.
I exited the Crystarium. To the Crystarium. Brr.
If you've come looking for work, I might have a spot for another guard. Hey man, here's a letter. Oh, a friend of the XIV. Hoping to meet someone in Amh Araeng, are you? And I shall be your guide. I was about to set off for our outpost there, as a matter of fact. So we can leave right away, assuming you have everything you need. All set. Oh, wait. To the songs we go. To the desert. You can use your aether compass to assist you with... Okay, yeah. Did you lose this compass? Speak to Jasmine, the Amaral Lodge, and the Crystarium to attain another. Lost compass is constantly replaced by speaking with Keller at the Forgotten Knight in Foundation back in Ishgard. I don't need that. It's good to know, but I don't really need it anymore. I'm gonna change some settings as soon as we get in here.
Amh Araeng. From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath Araeng once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder. He told me Amh Araeng meant majestic land in the language of his people. And so it might still be, were it not for the light's unrelenting onslaught.
God, the music in this expansion is amazing. I cannot get over it. It's so great. Oof. No matter how many times I come here, the heat never fails to catch me off guard. Don't be surprised when the temperature drops at night, though. The sky is still bright, of course, but it gets brisk enough to make you shiver. Now, the exile's letter said I was to take you to the inn at Journey's Head, which is where this Alisaie friend of yours is staying. But that's a fair old distance, so I propose we make a stop in Morbid Square to break up the check, allowing me to attend to some business and you to enjoy the local hospitality. Sounds good? Good. Alright, you lot. I'm off and I'd rather not see the goods covered in sand when I get back. Okay. Right. Then we head southwest straight as an arrow. Guess what I can do? NewGame Plus, bitch. NewGame Plus! I got a message. Facebook, shut up. Oh shit, I passed it. Stop here a moment. It's your first visit to Amh Araeng, is it not? Before you cross the river of sand, you need to turn around. You'll feast your eyes on that. Look at that giant cactar. It's got things everywhere. They built them big, didn't they? That's Quarter Scar, the fortress meant to protect the northern reaches of Amh. Seeing what was left behind, I believe it's been made once of Northern's mightiest nations. At least until the flood came along. Great chunks of Northern's land were lost to the lake. The secret would include the few who survived didn't see much point in staying. Most of them, anyway. No, not many choose to come here these days, not with everything in ruins. Even the open great fortress has become little more than a common roost for me and my caravan. But not everywhere is deserted like this place. Just wait till you see more of the squall. Let's press on, shall we? here we are, Orbit's Wall. By the blessed shadow, I love this town. Complete, the quest is done. Gasser stands at the entrance to Morbid Squall, an eager smile on his face. Morbid Squall! Not just Voldemort, but Ooms and all the Matter Mothers, too. It has long been a refuge for folk displaced by the Flood, so its population is nothing if not diverse. Oh, have you met Morbid before? They might look a little shifty little plaggers, but the more welcoming the lot you never wish to meet. Speaking of which, pay our respects to Master Gengen. I'll go ahead and let him know you arrived. Place still confuses me. Waka waka. Waka waka everywhere. Again. It's a kobold.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you.
Oh, my voice was wrong. Master Gengen.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Maud's.
What's
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Amh Araeng. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too. Many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Amh Araeng by choice, but Maud Souk's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Maud dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mauds do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
You say that every time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps a Maud philosophy, for which we should all be very grateful. Would that everyone was so willing to take in refugees regardless of race or creed. Now then, if you intend to spend any time here, you'll want to gain the trust of the locals. And there's a little custom all newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Maud says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
Oh no, you want my goods, newcomer? I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here!
Come and look.
You buy.
Enough of that! Calm, I say! This one must still journey through the panels. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots.
No pots.
Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat the 3 before you leave.
Hi, I'm Ron. Welcome to Ron's Traveler. I have the wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time, stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise yet. Browse Ron's wares. You can move the camera as well and zoom in and out. Target the food stuff and inspect it with R2X. Bread, meat, skewers, worms, Ron. Let's go some bread. Let's go with bread this time. I call it mush loaf. The middle is stuffed with bittersweet cactus fruits, so even if the bread dries out, it's still moist inside. Keeps you going in the heat. Worms. Everyone's favorite, plump white worms scattered in honey. Once you eat a glaze, you'll never want another treat. Meat. This is my ever-burning bounty, made of the best parts of the lizard, killed with some spices, so find the smell challenging, but it'll warm you up in chilly desert nights. Skewers. Oh, you like those? Chewy skewers. I find small frogs hanging under rocks, spear them with a stick and roast them over fire, crackling on the outside, gooey on the inside. Perfect for snacking. They all look tasty, yes? Which one? Choose? Looks like some mush loaf. Ah, very wise. You won't put on those sands with a grape full of cactus fruit filling. You have the gold. There you go. All done. One very bit honor buys you 40 loaves of bread. Yeah, bread's invisible. Yum 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 yum. Last mouthful. Think I'll share the rest. Our visitor invites us to feast. Let us give thanks to his great generosity and small appetite. Consider your corn voice cracked. I am pleased to accept your customs, and Gengen will be pleased that you have honored ours. Good. Keeping the merchandise down, yes? No returns! No returns! Speak with Ron. Perhaps the infallible wares. I'll go back and talk to Gengen. I was watching from here, I thought you honored our customs, and with great relish. You will always be welcome in Morsquam. If you need anything in Amh Araeng, we are here to provide. Complete. Your courage, my friend. Ron was forever more exotic than harmful. But I don't expect you to bellyache. You'll have tomorrow. Right. Now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed on a portrait touch? I have a few details I have to close before I conclude my business here at Morsquam. Oh, yeah. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye. Well, this would be certainly help hurry things along. Perhaps picking from the market, probably paid for. Just lifting and carrying. Okay. I go take care of some last minute haggling then. See you in a bit.
You may view the market receipt at any time during the quest by using the relative items in the key items menu.
Table cactus, Thon. Iron ore, Thulfa. Amh Araeng activities, Mill. To be collected from Mule. Forgot I had to go run around and find shit. There's Mill. Oh, it's here. I need my money. But that's not what I need. So. Now then, what's I doing again? Castle Senshi, did he? Right, yes. What was it? Oh, right.
Iron ore!
Iron ore, of course. Doubtless in this box I have right here. It's all yours. Alright. And I've already forgot what I was looking for. Thon. What is exactly that I needed from Thon again? Wrong. Table cactus. Lift with your legs, not with your back. You came in? Yes, good. It's a funny stop thinking about the sack. Please take your prickly purchase. Hey, no touching the merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my other offer.
Well, I was sat near my castle.
What? Castle? Why didn't you say so? You couldn't dream of selling his goods to higher bidder. No. Not right, there's a relics, wasn't it? All packed in this box ready, handled with care.
Yeah, I got stuff. Cause I'm cool. I'm cool. I was in the Matrix. I'm cool now.
Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already.
There's your stuff.
Take it. Aye. That's the lot. Alright, good work. And quick work too, considering you've not set foot in this place before. I thought you the one to see in the sale like I thought, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I hope to conclude all my business before you return, but it seems there's been more confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have it dragging the middleman in this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassar, it feels like an age since I last saw you. Oh, it's a female. Oh shit. Well, I've had some lovely Tennyson, and well, been a while. Been a while. The gentleman was on his way to meet with Alisaie, so we should be taken to the corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alisaie's told me so much about you. You're Broadspurred, aren't you?
What?
Yeah. I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tyson. I work at the carriers, and I've gotten to know Alisaie quite well since she took up guarding duties there.
You want me to take over for Boswell's guide, Casa? My shopping's all done and packed us off the rail, so it would be no trouble. That would be a great help, thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you return your fill of Amh Araeng, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. Okay. Alisaie is desperate to see you, Rosewood, so let's get you sooner than later. The inn isn't too far to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spiles from here. We just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. Oh, I made it. Oh yeah, I'm cool. All set. I should probably mention the wildlife. I just didn't leave you be if you keep your distance. The local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I could just swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I'm not loading myself down with too many moments today. Do you think you can handle any beast that try to make a meal of us? I thought you might. Alisaie always says you much home. I mean, let's get going, shall we? Oh. Giggles the Clown! Thank you so much for the hosties. Meep meep! What up? How you doing, Giggles? We are reliving the storyline of the ShadowBringers expansion right now for Final Fantasy XIV, doing the New Game Plus. And killing things, because killing things is fun. That's good. I'm glad. And it's dead. Oh my god, my headphones. I'm doing good. Took a long hiatus, but decided to come back. I'm gonna push on. It might be best to scout ahead to clear out any coyotes you have sent. I'll wait here. You can fight without any distractions. You wanna fight? I'll kill you just because I can. I saw you follow me a few days ago during a B42 raid. I already followed you from B42 a while ago, lol. Yeah, I got twitched. Because I was gone for so long, they just started unfollowing a whole bunch of people. So I have to re-go through and find all my people again. Thank you for the hostie, though. I really do appreciate that. And thanks for coming by. What were you just streaming? Or what have you been streaming lately? With your cool snowflake next to your name. And it's dead. I gotta go back up there. Of course, man. Just some Half-Life blind playthrough. Nice. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I couldn't bear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Snowflake for charity. Charity! What I like the best about New Game Plus is I can fly. This is it. Thanks to you, I didn't have to drop my my ship ain't even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad he didn't make the trip alone. It seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay you a favor somehow. But first, let's head inside, shall we? Yes, this is Final Fantasy XIV, the MMORPG. I am currently going through a new game plus of the storyline for the most recent expansion, ShadowBringers. It is probably one of my favorite Final Fantasy stories ever. Like, it has kind of top 7 for me with this story. Welcome to Inn at Johnny's Head. You might be the first visitor from the Crystarians since Alisaie arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of cares. The affected? It's a really good game. They have a free trial period, which gets you up to level 35. There is no time frame on it. There is no time frame on that free trial period, so you'll get to level 35. I never caught the drift for this game. I understand. I don't think I've met anyone besides Alisaie who was so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most of us grew up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so maybe best for Alisaie to give you a full explanation. Complete, the quest is done. Oh no, there is plenty of action. I just really love this story, so that's why I'm going through it again. This is 100% optional. I just feel I just felt the need that after they added NewGame Plus, why not? Sets her gaze around the inn, hoping to spot Alisaie. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose. But why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her up there. It's not far. Head out the south side and soon you'll see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back when I'm gone. And plus, the music is phenomenal. Well, I have bad news. I have to go. Oh, well, thank you for coming by, and thank you for the host. I do hope you have yourself a wonderful and happy day today. Have a good one, man. Thanks again. Alisaie is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints in the ground, and they look to be going to the right side. Small footprints. I'm going to interact with that. The small footprints lead to the northwest. Where's your finger to the northwest? Oh, you want a piece of this? From its curve around to the west. No more trash yet, but the end of the message disturbed sound. Ha ha! You tried to attack me, but I went into a cutscene first. Take that. Take that!
Impressive.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner. How are you?
So touching. Well, you know, things are going good, and I mean, I'm here. There's light everywhere. Kind of tired.
We fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphinaud must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Araeng were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Araeng's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason, which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
It's just a matter of time now For some, less than others, those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the affected are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it served me well as a training ground. Talcy and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of seniors, which is knowledge I can now share with you. Well, you help me finish my patrol, of course.
Alisaie would have you help finish their patrol.
Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn, and you clear the west. That way we can have an undiluted experience for the resident Taz. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or capris is a sin-eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slaving after your head. Remember, it's killed or be killed by these monsters. Once you've slain whatever prowling around out there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting!
I'm gonna fly. Surveying the area. Surveying the area. Processing. I'm there. Yeah, that's right. I have a robot. What about it? Final blow. What up, Robo? Later, Robo.
How did you fare?
I've fought a couple of senators.
Well, there might be one or two lurking in the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself. But individually, these lesser seniors are no more deadly than a normal predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that pose a threat, almost like the void scent, and have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful senior goes on a hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to hold their ranks. Often enough that the numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out and play. You'll certainly help that front. Let's report our victories to Talcy, shall we?
Okay.
As tell me you helped our patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how bad Alisaie has missed your company. Everything's always, if Rollswood was here, he would. That's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective. I respect Rollswood's methods. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. the way he leaps into the fray without hesitation. It really is something to behold. It might be a little smitten myself. I'm only teasing, though I've no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do. Alisaie has the air of a woman being pulled in 10 directions at once. I would just lay out the welcome meal, but the duties are probably my little waiting for me. I don't know what things that I need done. I'm sorry, would you mind waiting here when I was like, what? And twiddling up thumbs while you walk yourself to death. Surely there's something we can help you with. Yeah, man, I can help. I could you with a hand, it's true. Thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the later. While we do that, show a few patients perhaps. There are 3 in particular I want you to visit. It's a matter of saying a few words to them. Seeing their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Panwell, Tamden, and Harlock. Oh, Harlock. I didn't get much of the way of response, but I promised to be pleased to meet someone new. I'm gonna massage your back, bro. Thank you. You're welcome. Massage your face, dude. Face massage. Don't touch me. I glance up at you blankly, but you notice the tension in his face eases slightly. And then there's Harlock. I don't mean to touch you, little kid, but I got to. I'll touch a little kids now. Warrior of darkness. Harlock remains utterly still as you would. The texture of his skin is hardened to something akin to plaster. You've seen all the patients? How are they? Good. That's good. Calm. I am concerned about Harlock, though. We'll have to speak with this. The other carriers. But I think his time may be near. We shall leave you to have the discussion then. I was going to take Roswell's remarks. Squang! If any needs. But there's one thing. Do you mind to pick up the nectarine from the markets, please? Yes, yeah, we just passed her. So run on should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Roswell. There's something I want you to see. Right after we suffer from one stop, of course. Little Edge, you're so tall. Oh, back again, are you? Wait, you need another taste of front man's face? Actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh yes, nectarine, peaches, grapes, fresh and juicy. Given you richly equipped your coin purse with me, I might still owe you a fool. Here, take this one, free of charge. God, I've never seen a moment would you give him anything for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Oh no. They're not for me, it's an offering of sorts. The worms, if you please. Only the best request for you. Come again, my friends. Right. That's all shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the earth right to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. I can do that. Ba-ba-ba. Here are your precious worms. It buys us the trip to the top of the tower, does it not?
Please don't realize you actually bought them. I really should have let you, but just this one's alright. Go only once.
Never fails, shall we? As they wants that private time. Yeah.
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit.
Nectarine in my palm.
Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
So emotional. This whole storyline is just emotions. I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe that befell the first one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is more thrilled than an hour of Yorianje's lecturing. And I needed to know beyond a doubt that Towson had no other choice. The lecturing will be a kindness. it isn't just a threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their words and would spare them the suffering. It's their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. Ta-da. You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find the nectarine? I don't want to give it to you. Thank you. As I explained why I wanted this, Ashy. I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others, and we've decided to keep an eye on Harlot for now. Thanks to you, though. If his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. It's so sad! Oh my god! Tassie makes an effort to smile brightly. Well, nothing's kind of happened for a while yet, so let's see if we can lighten the mood. We don't want the gloomy faces wearing the patience. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat, and I'll make a nice stew.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. I'll have another bowl then.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot.
It's on fire!
In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get.
God, it's so sad.
I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs.
Oh, my other head's here. I'm gonna do something. I'll be right back.
I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel for miles to stay here.
And changed hats.
Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one.
It's so sad. I love it.
It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Amh Araeng? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. My beard's all messed up. Big bushy beard. Desleen! Roswood, Alisaie, we have to look for Harlech. I don't know what's gone into him, but he's wandering over there alone. So signs such as split up. Any idea where he may be headed? No, he's never done anything like this before, but it can't be in coincidence that the other vision is suddenly so agitated. They can sense something. Anyway, let's keep searching close to the end. No. Because it's I can. I'll cover the north and wests, then you take everything and else. Oh man, no. I hope you're like paying attention, because this, like, oh god, the story is so sad and so horrible. And just so many things, so much feels. Yeah, trying for Harlech, and suddenly you find yourself under attack. My little Kate set doll. Yeah. And it's set. You should be scared. Very scared. Look around. Look around.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will. Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones.
Oh no.
Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
Go! Run. I thought you were going. Thanks for not, but hey.
Oh no! Ulrich! We have to run! Tesling! No!
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in vain. Mother, I...
No. So sad. I'm sorry, Richard. I tried to tell the kid as well, but I can't surely not like this. Just so that Tassim was always so cheering with patients, telling them not to be scared, that they wouldn't feel any pain. All of the people in the world deserve such a thing. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. Me, I can barely. I don't have the words. Without a body, I can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about those sort of things. And giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the singular made her escape.
Alisaie is lost in grief. Alisaie, thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them, to me. Sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Harlech. The one how I heard it wasn't even a fight. It was too late, too slow. And I thought I'd protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Harlech back safe and sound. No one could have done it more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing in my role here. I hope you'll forgive me for leaving you. You will delay Harlech's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. As we always do. Of course, she would have done the same. Harlech, keep Cassian's words close to your heart. Wait, you're leaving this very moment. I understand how you feel, but surely it's a bit hasty. Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. Damned light, building with the hues, is the reason we can't save this corrupt blessing here. But if we corrected the balance, even for little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now, hold there. Everyone knows there's too much light. How could you ever hope to get rid of it? You have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to rebuild the signals on my own, but I can still use the skills I've gained there to hunt them. No. Dun dun dun. Twitch. Hey, look, wait. Hold on, wait, what? Look, I'm at Twitch. Twitch on Twitch. Sorry. It's the little things, you know? I couldn't stay there a moment longer. I was serious about what I said. All the men and women at the inn battle against the blight with kindness. I must fight my own way, with steel. May always your sword in the darkness, but you never outsold in the light. God, Bob, it feels like ages ago now. Mr. Alisaie, is there anything I can get for you? Your swiftest honor needs to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. I made to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amh Araeng again. I'd barely come the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the XIV. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Senators out, shall we?
I had to check to make sure I was going to the right place.
Thank you for seeking me out, Welchwood. It meant a lot to have you there by my side. It was time to just set off again the moment we had decided upon our direction. But you still have to visit the moment, haven't you? If I know my brother, he'll be in the cusp of discovering something vital to our success, if she hasn't already. I'll commit to stay here and consult our opinions for the time being. But don't keep me waiting too long, eh?
As you could meet Alphinaud.
It was out on Kholusia then. As I mentioned, the destination is on up the west coast. You'll be needed from out capable of making the journey. Here's a letter of introduction. Visit to this site as the master of Pt2 Thomas Brookery. I'll see it taken care of. When you see Alphinaud, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Bum bum bum. Ugh.
Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Signed by the XIV, no less. Yes, I can provide you with the armor for passage to Kholusia. I'll pick out a friendly one.
He was expecting a chocobo.
Chocobo? Do you have from one of North's more isolated settlements, perhaps? I hear there are a few places where they ride the little hills, but here in the Crystarium, mountains will give you grave fellows of more common use. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding armor, I think it best I accompany you in this flight myself. Any Zoom worthy of his name can do it, of course, but the XIV sent you to me, ensuring your arrival safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Armorer Lodge. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts.
Or you just stand there.
In order to get an Armorer mount, I have to have level 80 everything.
Aspiring Armorer Trader.
You want to fly an armor pleasure? Well, I suppose the master is going with you. Wait here, please. The master should be along with the mount shortly.
Without travel with Kholusia, so speaking with the aspiring Armorer Trader, fly to the island. Oh, I'm starting to yawn a lot.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
We have arrived. This is Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Alaska. It should be safe here to present. Compared to the mainland, Senators' attack are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are more dangerous than elsewhere. It's the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals Custarium in scale and was once an ally in the battle against the abominations. For years, the Yulmorian elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of the broken world. We don't follow the leaders of the settlements to protection. If we bend the knee. Oh god, flashbacks. The thing is in question, the Custarium is among us, a rather heavy-handed authority, and we are not at war. Our relationship with you is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exile during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. Okay. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, the Exile is a mutually divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a great deal. Listen closely. Complete. The quest is done. Let's tell you, he plainly deems it worthy of your undivided attention. If you head south along the coast, you will eventually come to a fisherman's sack. A friend of the Custarium is there, a man who goes by the name of Ivyor. Ivyor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kholusia and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, and I will let you know you trust it. Here, this should do. Find your friend. I will stay here with the armor until you return. Okay. Did I say mustache? No, I thought that said mustache. That's a mustache. Man, fish, crap. I think I've got a knee on a barrel somewhere. I'll get you a taste for them. Got some time. Oh, I do love a bit of time. Chuck some in the pan and it's a bloody festival of favor. Now, what's I can do for you? Can't say that there's been any major upsets to report in the past few weeks. Alphinaud. I know the one champion of the Downtown. He almost richer than all of Nova put together, but it's a different story for them to live outside the city. Most spend every weekend moment just trying to stay alive, which makes their friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess it's the way it is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet anyway from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up past the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse of a tavern the locals called the Leaky Keel. Right there, and I'll see the Alphinaud join you. this your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What'll you be having? Ale, mead, or water? Ale, mead, or water? Let's go with mead. A fine choice. I know what you'll be beginning with. Now, those are exotic. She comes back coins like that. I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to touch the purity, and I'm not sure about begging for one from the neighbors, so I'll have to come up with some other arrangements. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately pests have been eating more and more of them. What's domination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give him an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be the one old sign there next to the fence, snoring as or not. Do me this favor, and you can laze about here as long as you like. Sure. We can do that. Do-do-do-do-do. I can walk through fences, but not this one. That one patch of grass. You know, when I saw me, driven like a furniture, they haven't been some time. All scraps of vegetables and clothes, it's just rice and taking the precedence in their absence. Welcome back, dear. What couldn't for nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Major, there was no one there. He must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. The hopefuls? In Gate Town, outside Yulmore. Don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? Here I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear, and more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house.
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Your chapped
It is good to
lips.
see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphinaud, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu. It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Me? I was more worried about you.
Huh. Alisaie said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
And hand gestures, main story. Hand gestures. Every time I tell a story, it's stuff happened.
Both the Exarch and Alisaie told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped, but so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin-Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure?
Adventure! Adventure! Oh, you know it.
And so we take to the road once more.
assuming you have no objection, let's make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be looking to see why I have yet to set foot in Elmont, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west and cross a small bridge. Small bridge. Seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression to the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people look the same. To think that whatever calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No! No! Get away from me! Over there! Quickly, someone's in trouble! Try to save people. Oh, I saw a senator. Oh, thank the face. Look out! Come, Robo-Man. Falcon Punch! My poor heart. Thank you, young sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste I lost my bearings, but I see the situation well in hand. Find one. Are you alright, man? Just a few bruises from where I fell, nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Did I put stop anyway? I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yellmore with the rest of them. Doubt their fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate is to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I'll suggest you avoid wandering alone unless you make the senator's task any easier. Thank you again, you saved my life. Now, I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's not to be had here but cobwebs and memories. Yeah. Tis the lady say, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in your more shadow. Should the senators descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Let me explain some stuff with my hand gestures. Ah, yes, Alisaie will be quite qualified this one. Compared with Amh Araeng, Kholusia is almost a haven, but as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived a few moments later, the senators would have claimed another victim. Scratch, 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 scratch. Still, we have won a small victory this time, at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Just fly. Surveying the area. Cutscene.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please! Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu. Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all. What about that now?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Ivan Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged, and so they are picked over like market produce.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for?
I wonder.
Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident. For you. Enjoy.
Thank goodness.
Over here.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gate Town, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity, but the whole arrangement just seems... Let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Little do they know what it's actually made out of. you understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come not. The dubious privilege of residency must be one via contest with ever-changing rules. They say this policy is in place for the past 2 decades, ever since your most current ruler came into power. Yet, from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Cedars, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I've tried to propose ways we could improve their lot, but my words inevitably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so enriched now, I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself.
To the bubbling crock pot. A large pot bubbles over with flame, pale chunks, milk, you realize, float in the other's plain broth. Preoccupied petticoat.
Just look at it. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that waits for me inside those walls. Oh, they will ever pick me.
Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yormal's pie, if you ask me. You should ditch that sour-faced brat and make a home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, but at least it's safe, and the mall is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Because you don't know what it is. If you knew, I don't know if you did it tonight. Boom, 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 boom. You see that Gate Town has to offer? These people can no longer fend for themselves, so they can depend on the handouts of Mule, and believe Yormal is the answer to all their woes. That no matter how I feign my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable, to conceive of any other life. Fickle existence.
Up now, where's to look a profound spirit now?
Alright, after this cutscene, I'm probably gonna head off.
And I will be back sometime tomorrow. You disapprove of these people's way of life.
You disapprove of Yormal. It is difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Perhaps it is uncertainty which always makes me feel so ill at times. Not that matter, however, unjust the system seems to me. If these people claim to be confident with their law, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take that elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Yormal's laws are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets failed across the island are left empty and unattended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I'm convinced that Yormal's generosity truly serves the best interest of Kholusia's people. I am not a native as to think there is some. I am not so naive as to think there's some miraculous solution to all this. I cannot help frown at the sight of a hard-working villager struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being picked from poverty by the hand of a capable noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps into Yormal's gates. It is fortunate that you arrived when you did, Rosalind. I have been working out a scheme to insert myself into the city. For Kholusia's plan, which should soon come to fruition. beast drivers makes its home the seaside of the island, the Ondu, they're called. Though you and I know them as Saga. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos and rarely have dealt with land dwellers. Bless Hataro took such great pains to impress me that during our stay in Kugane, does nos favors the both. I doubt they discovered that the Ono are reformed with that fresh fruit in particular. When I offered to produce such to them, they promised to pay me in pearls. I tried my business venture for an interesting investor, but you would not agree. Surely even the most jaded young lawyer in the world wouldn't have the time for a merchant and speak pearls from plums and pumpkins. Yes, I've gone a long way since my days of buying samurai souls without first negotiating a price. My appointment with the Commodore is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet them at the shore. Might you help me make the exchange? Well, duh. That's what I'm here for, man. Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first. We must make a visit to Mushima. My supplier is right. Come now. Come. Cheerio. Pip, cheerio. Burp. Quest accepted. Alright. Yep. I think it's time for me to call it. I do hope everybody has themselves a wonderful and happy day. Thank you all for coming by. I really do appreciate it. We will pick this up tomorrow, actually. And have a great night. Let's see who's online, and I can send you over that way. Let's do a check real quick. See who's all up online and shit. Go visit one of my fellow raid coordinators over at Team B42. He's playing some Pokemon Sword and Shield. And go see Star the Bazaar on this. Again, I muted my mic just. Again, thank you everyone for coming by and watching me stream. Okay. Oh, dude, okay. Okay. So you just got here. Have you been here? Smooth? What's going on? I'm so confused. LOL, so late. Oh man, dude, yeah. I'm about to go take a nap before I gotta go to work tonight. But I am gonna start streaming on a daily basis. Yeah, just keep an eye out. I'm gonna start streaming more. I'm doing the storyline for Final Fantasy at the moment. So, oh my god, I hit my shit. Okay. Have a good night, bro, and I'll see you later.
Since